Hello everyone and welcome back to the Nut House. Today I want to show you how to make homemade sausage. It's sure to save you a lot of money. So this is a Boston butt / shoulder that I had my husband pick up from work. It is already cubed up, and a lot of times you can get this at the butcher shop, but if not, you can find it at your local grocery store. It may not be cut up for you and you may have to do that, but it's still way cheaper than you can buy per pound for sausage at the grocery store. So I will have the recipe for the seasonings that you will need per pound in the description box below, because sometimes my fractions may be a bit confusing. Alright, so I have 10 pounds of pork butt, pork shoulder. And for each pound of meat, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. So that's 10 teaspoons of salt. And we want to do this before we grind it. We're going to have a mess. So it's 3... 4, 5, man, that's cold. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 teaspoons of salt. Now, I'm going to add, to this 10 pounds, I'm going to add just about a teaspoon of garlic. I don't want it, too garlicky for breakfast. Oops. Maybe a little bit more. You know how I love garlic. Okay. And then the recipe calls for, let's see, 1/8 of a teaspoon of dried oregano. So if I have 10 pounds, it would be, if I had 8 pounds, it would be 1 teaspoon. So I'm just going to do one, is this 1 teaspoon? Let me see. It is. So I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. And this is from my garden, which is really exciting. Okay, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. And then for every pound of meat, I'm going to add, let's see, 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. So, a 1/2 teaspoon will be 2 pounds. So, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Let me rinse my hands off a little bit, it's cold. Okay, so now for the red chili flakes. Now, if you were making like a spicy one, you could probably do more, but we're going to do, it's 1/4 teaspoon per pound. So 1/2 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon I'm going to do the same thing. 2. I'm probably going to go a little shy on this because I don't want spicy. 4. 6. 8. Let's do a little bit more. 10. There we go. All right. Let's see. We've got our salt, garlic, parsley flakes. We need a 1/2 teaspoon parsley flakes per pound of meat. So 1 teaspoon per 2 pounds. So 1, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now you don't have to do this many. I mean, if you want to make a small quantity. You know, the last ones I made was like 6 pounds. So. Okay, let me clean up. Okay, let me clean all this up. Oh, I forgot the sage. Most important. Okay, so for the sage, it is 3/4 teaspoon multiplied by 1 pound. So that's 7.5 teaspoons of sage. So there's 1, 2, 'Wash my hands. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to do 7 because I think it looks like a lot to me. We're just going to mix this up so the sage gets all over each piece. Now, I'm going to wash them up again. All right. Let me get my meat grinder. So you have the worm, and the worm goes in there, and then this little contraption. And then you choose which blade you want. And I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm going to try the largest first. I can always go down. So, you put that in there. It has a little divot that fits in there. And then we're going to... Now, I have the other one that I usually use. This is a new one to me. But since we really like homemade sausage way better than store-bought, and it has limited ingredients and I control those ingredients, we're going to try it here. So, if you have a KitchenAid, it goes into that little attachment there. Let's see if you can see this. So, we're going to try a little bit to start with to see what we got. So, we just feed that meat into that grinder. We have a little press here. Okay, so I'm not a fan, you know, of the worm look. So I will be mashing this. But because I've made this before, I know that I like a little more fat in mine. So right now would be the time that you would make a patty. And then you would fry it up to see if you like it, if you like the flavor, you know, does it need anything? So I know that I'm going to need 2 pounds more of pork for what I like. So I'm going to go get that, and I'll be right back. Okay, here's my pork that I render down for lard. And you can get this at any butcher shop. My husband is a butcher, so that's where I got, you know, the pork already cut up. You're going to have to, if you don't have a butcher shop, you'll probably need to just go and buy a butt or shoulder roast. And then this is just pork fat that I'm going to measure out. Okay, let's see. I need to do pounds. Okay, and we'll tear it. And I want 2 pounds. Okay, 2 pounds. I'll be right back. Alright, now we're going to put this through the grinder, see how it goes. Okay, I'm going to have to let that sit for a minute because it is not wanting to work. So the first time I did this, I used 6 pounds of a butt that I got at the grocery store, and I cut it off the bone, and I went ahead and made this, and I added 1 pound of fat. So my reasoning was I will add 2 pounds of fat to this because it's 10 pounds instead of 6 pounds. So you cannot add any extra fat and it'd be really, really lean. Let's try this again. Now I'm just going to squeeze it with my hands like that to get all of it combined. And you can adjust the fat. Sometimes, if you really don't want much fat, then just use the fat that was already on that butt. But normally, if I'm making sausage, my youngest will beg for gravy, so I need a little extra fat in mine to be able to make gravy, because got to start with that. Got to start with some kind of fat. This will freeze your hands off. Whew. Okay. Now, I think we're going to package it in 1 pound packs, and because this is 10 pounds, I should get 10 packs. And we paid $1.70 for that. So I'm going to put a plate on here in what they call tear it, which means you subtract the weight of the plate and bring it back down to 0. And here are my bags. Okay. So I'm going to grab a scoop and put it down. And it says it's 1.01 pounds. So we'll seal the end of this. Now, if you'll seal this flat, you can get it out of the freezer and put some warm water on it, and it will be thawed in no time. So, you really don't want sausage hands while you're doing this part, but and then I like to really flatten it before I write on it what it is. And so that one looks like it's got a lot of fat in it, but it will be delicious. I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope it inspires you to get out and try some new things to save some money. This is an excellent example, and I hope you'll come back so I can share some more tips with you.